Atwasmin Parama Prema Rupa Amrita Swarupa Cha. Opening of Narada Bhakti Sutra by Narada. That is Parama Prema Rupa. Parama Prema. Not just Prema. Parama Prema Rupa. Love which is beyond. Amrita Swarupa. What kind of beyond? Amrita Swarupa. That which takes you to the highest state. Amrita. Yam Labdva. Having found that, what happens to the person? Puman, Siddho Bhavati, Tripto Bhavati, Amruto Bhavati. He becomes Siddha, Tripta, Amruta. Siddha means he has achieved everything. There is nothing more to be achieved after that. Tripta, completely satisfied because there is nothing more to achieve. There are no more desires left. There are nothing to be gained, attained. Amruto Bhavati becomes immortal. All this is description of bhakti. This is not Vedanta. Mark my words. You may confuse this with Vedanta. Amruta, maybe that is Vedantins who are supposed to be immortal. Bhakti, not immortality is not there for them, is it? Amruto bhavati. But bhakti takes you to Amrutatva. Yad prapya, having found that, what happens? Na kinchit vanchati. Doesn't desire for anything, that person. Desireless he becomes akamahata. Desireless. What else? Na dveshti, na shochati, na ramate notsahi bhavati, it says. Na dveshti, does not hate anyone. How can you not hate anyone? Vedanta answers. Who does not hate anyone? Tato na vijugupsate. Today Ishavasya Upanishad told us. Who? Yasmin sarvani bhutani. Atmanyeva anupashyati. Everything that is there around me, it is only Atman. Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam. In all, I am only there. Tato na vijugupsate. Only that person cannot hate anybody. Na dveshti. Na kankshati. Brahadarunyaka says, I am asmi iti. When I find that it is me here. I am that. What happens? Kimichan kasya kamaya. Shariram anusanjaret. For what desire, for what purpose should he put his body to trouble? Na kankshati. Na shochati. Why? Because his fears is gone, his sorrows are gone. Na dveshti. Na ramati. He doesn't enjoy all these kinds of worldly things anymore. He enjoys only that supreme self. No utsahi bhavati. He loses enthusiasm for these worldly things by nature. Yad gyatva. Puman, what happens if he comes to learn about it, it realizes it. Stabdo bhavati. Becomes stunned, becomes astonished, becomes overwhelmed. There is nothing more. He is in a state of a feeling of overwhelming feeling of supreme self. There is nothing more. Tejasa abhibhuta. In the front of the shining self, illumination of the self, he becomes absolutely stupefied. Stabdo bhavati. What else? The highest he becomes there. Atma ramo bhavati. He becomes one with the divinity. This is not Advaitic Vedanta. Atma ramo, is it not Advaita? Then what is it doing in Bhakti Sutras? Amruta, is it not Vedanta? What is it doing in Bhakti Sutras? It means what? End of Bhakti, the consummation, Bhakti Parakashta, ultimate end of Bhakti is Atma Ramo Bhavati. So therefore, Bhakti, even if it's a Saguna Bhakti, it must lead to Nirguna only. At the end of it, Atma Ramo Bhavati has to happen. If that has not happened, then you are wandering in lanes and by lanes of this Bhakti. All kinds of Bhaktis are Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedam, Shravadam, Kirtanam, Mananam, all kinds. But one Bhakti, our Narada Bhakti Sutras towards the end says there are 11 types of Dashaikadha, 11 types of asaktis are there, attachment to God or love for God. In that one, Tanmayata Sakti is there. Guda Mahima Asakti, Puja Asakti, Rupa Asakti, all kinds of Asaktis are there. Smarana Asakti, Dasya Asakti, Vatsalya Asakti, Kantya Asakti, Atmanivedana Asakti, Parama Viraha Asakti, Tanmayata Asakti. What is Tanmayata Asakti then? Become one, Tanmaya. Sharvat Tanmayo Bhavet. Once it reaches Brahman, it becomes one with Brahman. How? Like the arrow when reaches the target becomes one in the target. Tanmayata Sakti is there, Bhakti is there. So how can Bhakti be at conflict or loggerheads with Advaita? It's not possible. It's not possible. The one who really knows Bhakti, it's not possible. What kind of Bhakti we ended up in? All Bhakti except Atmanivedanam. The moment it came to Atmanivedanam, no, this far, not further. The time it came for the river to become the ocean, no, I will rather remain a river. That's what has been happening to most of the people who think they are bhaktas. Very good Shravanam, beautiful, they come to attend all the discourses. Kirtanam, don't even ask. If they sing in Chikbalapura, you can hear in Muddenahalli. Vishnu Smaranam, not inside, loud chanting, and everybody should know Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, that I am the Sai Bhakta. Vandanam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, all kinds of Karyakramas being arranged. Prayer sessions, puja sessions, Archanam, all kinds of programs are being organized. Center programs, Samiti program, national programs, international programs. Padasevanam, so to say, if not directly, at least in the photo, I am doing bhakti, Padasevanam. Dasyam, no, I am a sevadal. I am a volunteer. What does that mean? I will go and distribute food, distribute water, distribute medicines, distribute this. I will become a volunteer serving in some institutions. Dasyam. Sakhyam, a few rows, a little more. Being quite close to Swami. In terms of their affection, in terms of their attachment, in terms of their understanding. Swami also would allow them to experience that Sakhya Bhakti. How many Atmanivedanam cases are there? Count on your fingertips. Till Sakhyam they came. How many went into Atmanivedanam? Means they stopped existing after that. Atma Ramo Bhavati. Then there were no two then. There was only one. How many? It means Bhakti has not matured itself into Advaita Darshanam. It has not become Tanmayata. It has not become Atmanivedanam. And that's where my problem is. I have come to give you what you ask for so that one day you will ask for what I have come to give. I give whatever you ask. Give me this, give me that, give me this. All right, okay. One day I hope you will be done with all the asking and finally you have nothing to ask. Then I can give you what I have come to give. It was never different. It was always the undertone of all the things were Advaita only. But different people, Mande, Matir Bhinna, they understood things in a different way. What they were interested in, they took that part of the message and went. Some people picked up meditation, some people picked up seva, some people picked up some Vedanta from also that. Some people picked up only pure bhakti. Some people did not understand, just looking at Swami is all that they wanted, nothing more there was in their minds. So everybody took their own things from this Kalpa Vriksha, all as per their desires and wants. Job, wife, children, money, and after money, more money. Then after everything is done, retirement, seva opportunity. All kinds of things. How many really asked and said that I just want to realize myself? Very few. That's why it is said. It is not possible for everyone to understand this. That's why old time they have said, Vedantam Paramaguhyam. It's a very, very secret thing. In those days, in Pura Kalpe, in the old times alone, not in the modern times, nobody should be teaching this. In old times, it was prachodati. It was all taught in the old times, not in the new times. Why? prashanta manasa dhatavyam. Don't give this to people who don't have a pleasant mind. If you have so many desires, how can your mind be pleasant, peaceful? No dhatavyam, don't give them. It says, na aputrasya, na ashishyasya. Don't even give to the one who is not your son or not your shishya. Because they will not understand unless they have lived with you, they have grown with you, they have understood, they have become prashanta manasa. Even if you teach it, and nothing will go inside their head. So when so many people are arthis, jignasyus, head filled with too many things, where was the place for them to learn about the Atma Jnana? Busy with day-to-day worries and family issues and professional issues and legal issues and every issue. Where was the time? When was their head empty to think about these higher things? When were they empty? No, prashanta manasa. Don't give to those who don't have any. Aprashanta manasya. Prashanti nilayam you will reach, but man is aprashanta only. Why? Because you have come to prashanti primarily to gain something, get something, have your prayers answered. Even if you come as a volunteer with too many conditions, type of accommodation, type of job, where I should be posted, where I should not be posted, who should, all kinds of desires. Who has come empty, totally empty to God? There is a story of the Zen master. Somebody goes to him and says, I want to learn from you. 1 full year, like our Prashna Upanishad Sishyas. Tapasa, Brahmacharyena, Shraddhaya, Samvatsara. 1 full year you spend on that. Then only come and ask me. Like our Prajapati of Brihadaranyaka, Indra and Virochana. Keep coming back. Another 35 years, another 35 years, another 35 years. So it was not taught to everybody. People came, but for their own things. They did not come together. That is why he always says the coffee, Kalpavriksha, you go to Kalpavriksha and ask for a coffee podi, because that's all your mind is thinking of at this point in time. Verbally they will say, Swami, grant me moksha. But the moment Swami say, come, I'll grant you moksha. No, not today. I have things to do. My son has to get married. My daughter has to be settled. And I'm expecting a grandchild right now. And house is half built. And the legal issue with my brother or my father's property is going on. So moksha, I want moksha only from you, but right now I don't want. I'll come later. That later never comes. That never comes. He always has have a reason why this is not time for that Advaita Darshana. This is not time for moksha. See, again, so beautiful. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, who gets it? Ati ashraman. Ati ashrama. Not ashrama dharma followers. Ati ashramis. What is Ati ashramis? Those who have gone beyond ashram dharmas, forget I am grahastha, brahmacharya, vanaprastha. I just want that self-realization. They are called Ati ashramis. Others are not allowed to go. Rishi Sangha Jushtam. Those who are desiring Jushta, those who are only wanting that. To them, when the Rishi speaks, they understand. Otherwise, they don't understand. Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Only in the mind of the pure, it shines. Not in the mind of other people. Why? Because they have left the Ati Ashramis they have become. So I was thinking we should change our ashram's name to Ati Ashrama. So that you only think of Brahman and nothing else. Otherwise, everybody is taking refuge in those cracks and corners of Grihastha, Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha. No, not yet. I was telling the story of this Brahman who keeps doing, all kinds of karma kandas, yajna kandas, all these things, and wants to pray for Brahmagyana. And when the Guru comes and says, come, I'll take you and teach you Brahmagyana, I will give you moksha. He says, not now, my son is small. When he grows up, when he comes back again. No, he's getting married. After the marriage, you come. When he comes after the marriage, they're expecting a grandchild. So come after that. Grandchild is too small. My son is too careless. I have to protect the wealth. So come again. Finally, what happens? This old man passes away, but yet he's not got moksha. And he's born as a snake to protect the wealth of the family, which is buried in the backyard. And finally beaten to death by his own grandchildren. How many are serious about it? I want it right now. here and now. And God says, okay, come here, give up everything, forget your jobs, forget your wives, forget your homes, forget your wealth, forget your degrees, forget your parents, forget everything else, because anyway this has to be going away from you today or tomorrow. Come, I'll give you moksha. How many will get up and say, let's go? Let's go. You are done with your wife, children, parent, family. Vasudevananda is telling, I am coming. That is because you are done with everything. Somebody in the midst of all the youth and vigor and so many ambitions and ideas and desires, how many will get up and say, I am here ready. Come Swami, take me. I want to attain moksha. How many people have dropped everything and ran behind God, tell me? How many have done that in the past? Every bhakti comes with a condition, terms and conditions. I'll be a bhakta, provided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the list goes on, and things keep adding with every passing year. So this will happen, then I am bhakti. When will this bhakti mature? When it will culminate into Atma Ramo Bhavati? When it will culminate into Amruto Bhavati, Tripto Bhavati, Sabdo Bhavati? When will it culminate into? That is the question I am asking. Then what is the use of such a bhakti which does not make you one with your Bhagavan? Isn't it? It is not. That is why I was yesterday also emphasized it in so many different ways. That see, even if you have bhakti, it will only help you. The reason for having bhakti is to reach the realization. And once you realize your bhakti for whichever God you have will become reinforced, will become even stronger, because you realize my God is only Brahman. It will become even more powerful. Otherwise, you are stuck with where did he go, which path he took, whom did he speak to, whom he called for interview, what he gave them, who is the new VIP in the corridor, why the old one has been kicked out, who is the student always hovering around Swami, who is the fellow who has been thrown away, what is happening in the canteen, who is the new boss over there. This is what mind was busy with. Then where is the question of having this emptiness of the mind, Vishuddhatma, to attain this higher knowledge? There is no place. That is what the Zen master was saying. After 1 year, he kept this disciple, and the disciple was seeing what this master is doing. He is cleaning the floor, cleaning this, going and drawing water, whatever, cutting wood, as he said. He was busy. After 1 year, this fellow lost his patience, saying that this cannot be a jnani. Look at the same thing he does every day, and he hasn't spoken one word to me in 1 year. What kind of fellow he is? And then he went to this. Finally, he lost his patience and he could see his restlessness. And then this fellow asked, what happened? He said, I don't know, 1 year I have been here, but I haven't learnt anything from you. Now, I don't even think you are capable of teaching anything, because I see you doing just the ordinary mundane tasks. Doesn't look like you are a Brahmagyani. That's what people thought of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa too. Doesn't look like. Look at his behavior. Madman. Then this Zen master called him and said, let's have a cup of tea. And he put 2 cups and started pouring tea. And as he kept on pouring, the tea started overflowing in the cup. And the other fellow said, so what are you doing? It's overflowing. There's no more place. He said, that's exactly your mind is like right now. It's overflowing with so many other things. There is no place for my Brahmagyana in your mind. It's too full of yourself, too full of desires, too full of wants, attachments. There's no place for me to teach you any further. First you empty yourself and come. Then there is something possible. But we are so scared. Why? How can we empty ourselves? What will happen to me, my family, job, future? He will take care. In one side we say Swami is only going to look after everything. Other side we are so particular that we are on top of things. Now how is it bhakti, you tell me? Bhakti reva gariyasi. Correct, bhakti is the highest. But that highest should lead you to the highest thing. That should lead you to that Atmanivedanam. But how many? How many are living in that state? Even as bhaktas. I am not even telling they are following Vedanta. Even as bhaktas, they are completely satisfied. There are no more desires left. Tripto, Siddho, Amruto, everything they are. They don't hate anyone. They don't know na kankshati, na shochati, na dveshti, na ramate, na utsahi bhavati. How many? Small things excite them. Small things make them hate. Small things make them get angry. Small things make them desire for more. So where is that bhakti? How can we call ourselves bhakta? Because bhakti means Atma Ramo. It should become one with your divine self. Then there is Advaita only. Where is Dvaita there? If your mind has been merged, Amani Bhava, Nadvaitam Upalabhyate. Your manas has become Amani. No mind is, because your mind is merged with Swami. Even then, this is Advaita only. That is Atmanivedana. But we, as you said, we are happy with whatever 146th floor, 48th floor. Good enough, this view is good enough for me. No, there is some possibility going on. No, this is good enough for me. I can see the whole of Dubai. I can even see Abu Dhabi and Sharjah and beyond. I think I see American the tower also. I do not interested in going further up. I'm happy. Then who can take you up? Udharedatman Atmanam. You only have to lift yourself up. God cannot lift yourself up. That is why it is said. It is just not possible with this kind of bhakti. What kind of bhakti? The bhakti which always is seeking. And as long as it's getting, there is God. The moment it's not getting, there is no God. That bhakti is not going to take anywhere. Radha Bhakti, Vrajagopikanam, Narada said. What kind of bhakti? Vrajagopikana. And what kind of people are there? Tad vismarane parama vyakulte. They become so restless. I have not seen him, attained him, realized him. That bhakti is also okay. Tadarpita, akhilacharana. Everything that they do is for that God's sake only. Nothing for my sake. There is not an iota of selfishness and self-interest in that person. And if he forgets this very thought that I am not one with my divine self, my Lord, paramavyakulte, they become restless like fish out of water till it goes back into water. But our fishes are how? As long as they get into Premdeep Hall, they are in water. Satsang is going on, I am not invited, half the world is being invited, why this treatment to me? That is vyakulate. No, that is not vyakulate. So many getting interview, why am I not getting interview? Vyakulate. That is not Param Vyakulate. Param Vyakulate is that how can I live without my Lord? He's inside me right here. When Meera searched for him everywhere, finally went and all the way walked up to Mathura. And she went and to the mandir and then the doors were closed saying that it was time for puja time is over, you come tomorrow. She said, I can't wait one more day to see Krishna. I have to see now. Said, not possible. And she became so disappointed and cried to Krishna. And as she was crying, she hit her head on the door of the mandir. And immediately she had the vision of Krishna as one with herself. And she became a realized bhakta. But Meera had any other desires, you tell me? She had any other desires? She had any other ideas, ambitions? Parama Vyakulte. Only one restlessness is I have to merge with my Lord, divine. Otherwise they had no, I am a chairman, I am a principal, warden, am I being given enough and more here? Am I having respected? Am I having position, any authority, any power? People recognize my service? Do I get enough of, chances with Swami? Do I even get to be called for satsang or not called for satsang? Am I recognized as the oldest possible devotee of this Baba? Where is bhakti? Where is bhakti? Bhukti, bhukti, bhukti. It is. And they want to claim themselves to be the closest and dearest, not possible. Atmanivedanam alone is the highest bhakti. Atmanivedanam means you are not there, only one is there. That's what I was telling, Kabir says, Prema gali badi sakari. It is a very narrow lane. Do na samahi. Two cannot fit in that lane. Jab main tha, sai nahi. Ab sai hai, main nahi. When I was there was no place for sai in this. Now sai has entered, I have no place for myself. Means where did the anger come from next time? When you claim to be like that, always merged in tanmayata. Where did the anger come when the next person did not respect you? Where did hatred come when the other person was not doing exactly as you said? Where the desires came from that I am not being invited, not being promoted, not being recognized, acknowledged, appreciated? Where did it all come from? Because you are also there in the lane, therefore God is not there in that lane. You think God is there, He is not there. Why? Because He didn't give enough place. It is very narrow, only one can fit. I always say it's not a musical chair. It's a single sofa. Musical chair means any people today this, tomorrow another. But Single sofa it is. Nobody else can sit other than God. How many have really lived? If they really live, they will be tripto, siddho, amruto, na kankshati, na shochati, na hrishyati, na dveshti, tripto, stabdho, atma ramo, amruto. Everything should be the quality of that devotee who has really been a devotee. All others are bhuktas only. In the garb of bhaktas. Inside is bhukti only. Swami, please give me this, please do this for me, please help me with that, please take care of this. Yeah, I only depend on you. But what is that we are depending for? Somebody sent me a message. Swami, I feel that I am going to die very soon. But I have so many responsibilities. And you have to you have to help me. The other way should have been, Swami, I believe I am going to die very soon. But then it doesn't matter because anyway, you only are looking after everything. Am I looking after anything? You are only looking after everything. So you only should look after that also. Whether I am here or not, it is incidental. My absence also you look after. My presence also you only are looking after. In fact, I may be interfering with your looking after. You could do it better in my absence perhaps. That bhakti, how many have that bhakti? Therefore, I am not satisfied with people just claiming bhakti by putting vibhuti, wearing whites, knowing some suprabhatam and Ashtottar Namavali and serving in the institutions and singing bhajans. I am not satisfied. Those times are over. Either you, even in that field, in that lane also, at least reach that stage of Atma Ramo, Atma Nivedanam. I am okay. Because that is the same thing. Another name. Another way of calling it. It's the same thing. Otherwise, take to this path of Atma Vichara that I have been telling. Because through bhakti we have not reached that far. Somehow this Nama Rupa thing, we got caught somewhere on the way. It's so powerful, this Nama Rupa confusion, you can imagine. Those devotees of Rama cannot be devotees of Krishna. Shiva devotees have fought wars with Vishnu's devotees. Think of all the confusion that this Nama Rupa has created in the past. If you had attained that highest of the bhakti, para bhakti, yasya deve para bhakti, the one who has para bhakti in that God, which deva? Your own self, the divine self. That is what he said. The true bhakti is what? Bhakti to the divine who resides within. Swaswarupa. Become one with that. That is the definition of bhakti. Who gave? Shankaracharya. But I am going back to Narada Bhakti Sutra. Is there any better bhakta than Narada? But Narada is confirmed, validated, endorsed, authenticated bhakta, isn't it? In his Bhakti Sutra is Yam Labdhva Puman Siddho Bhavati, Tripto Bhavati, Amruto Bhavati. Yad Prapya Na Kinchit Vanchati Na Shochati Na Dveshti Na Ramate Notsahi Bhavati. Yam Gyatva Sidhe Atma Ramo Bhavati says you become one with that. There is no in between. So where is the confusion between bhakti and Advaita? I mean, Narada himself is telling all these things. In all types of bhakti, he also talks about Tanmayata bhakti. In all types of bhakti, Bhagavatam talks about Atmanivedanam. But how many reach that Atmanivedanam? If you reach Atmanivedanam, you become one with divinity, then you will realize this only is Jnana, this is only Advaita. This is no difference of bhakti here. The same thing it is. So there is no confusion, no conflict anywhere. But those who don't understand, they are limited-minded people, aprashanta manasa, not a deserving person. Such a person will always look at this as different from that and, keep on talking. But all that bhakti has not led you to jnana, therefore I am not happy, therefore I am not satisfied with that. If you had become a jnani by end of that bhakti, you shall know na dveshti, na shochati, na kankshati, na ramati, no utsahi, tripto, amruto, siddho, stabdho, atma ramo. Everything you have become. That should have happened by now. 50 years if you have stayed with Swami, it should have definitely happened. 50 years you did the same thing. Anybody who does the same thing for 50 years should become the world's topmost expert in that, isn't it? Topmost expert. 50 years you have been doing the same thing. You should be the expert. So how is it that you practice bhakti for 50 years and you are not still the expert bhakta in terms of now, sometimes I listen to speeches and other things of people talking about Swami's life and I just feel so empty. It's so empty. So empty. It's so sketchy. There's no stuff inside. Just talking, repeating like parrots without really having that conviction. It doesn't appeal to me. That's why I said, in that way you describe Swami as Karunamaya, Premamaya, Seva Sakta, all these things are fine. Brahma Rupa and all, you don't deserve to speak. Because you don't understand what it is. You're just repeating like a parrot. That doesn't appeal to me. Other things, what you have experienced, you speak to that extent. Swami helped me with my schooling, education, took care of me and looked after me. Oh, he's like a mother to me. He's a mother, father, whatever, Uru, Bandha, Saka, all that is all settled there. Straight away don't jump and say he's a Parabrahma Swarupa, he's a Purna Avatara. What do you know? What do you understand of it? So he keeps telling the story. Somebody went from Tunisar Datta Maharaj and said, who is Sathya Sai Baba? He said, who is Shirdi Sai Baba? Who is the previous avatar? Sathya Sai Baba is the second avatar. So what was in between Shirdi Sai and Sathya Sai? That is what he is. Oh, such a wonderful only he is. No wonderful. Parabrahma Rupa. Oh, wonderful. What does it mean? Parabrahma Rupa. So what does it mean? What do you understand of it? No, he is the highest, above all gods. Deva Atitaya, Guna Atitaya, Sarva Devata Atitaya. So what? What does it mean to you? No, I am worshipping the best of the gods. I am the higher category. My church is of superior standing in the society. Bhakti is not to do with anything external. How many bhajans you sing, how many times you chant the name, how many times you have visited the ashram, how many sevadal activities you have participated in. At the end of it, what matters is, have you realized that you are one with the same divinity? It is not two, it is one. Have you realized? No, then you are not done. Your bhakti has not found fulfillment. You're somewhere in the lower floors somewhere. We are happy with that view, that's a different story. But the true bhakta will always be Advaitik. His understanding of his divine Lord will be always that of Brahman, and his association with the divine Lord will be the same. I and you are one. Now Jesus said, I am the messenger of God, then I am the son of God, then I and my Father are one. Isn't it said that? So I and my Father are one. Oh, this is like blasphemy, should somebody say. Church didn't say it's a blasphemy when he said I and my Father are one. But as bhakti, strict bhakti technical guidelines, rule book, it will say, how can you say that you are the same as Krishna, you are the same as Rama? No. Rama, Krishna is God, you are this. One person came to see Swami, one of the old acquaintances, and he got so angry. Why your Baba is sitting on the stage along with Krishna in Vrindavan? I told, because he is Krishna. What are you talking? How can he be Krishna? Krishna is Krishna Bhagavan. And first of all, don't keep calling Krishna Shri Krishna Ji. We keep calling Krishna Rama. You got so wild. Don't call Krishna Krishna. Shri Krishna Ji hai. तो बाबा उधर क्यों बैठा है? वो स्टेज कृष्ण के लिए, श्री कृष्ण जी के लिए है कि बाबा के लिए है? Both are same. How can you say both are same? Such a blasphemy this is. I know they both are same. Got angry, left the ashram. That bhakti. Shirdi Baba bhakti. No, how could this Sathya Sai Baba's photo be next to the Shirdi Baba photo? You know who is he? Like that, we have had enough of issues with bhakti, has created more and more confusion in the world. Only Advaita has resolved all confusion. All religions, everybody has bhakta only. All have fought tooth and nail. The number of people killed in the world because of religion is more than being killed by any other reason. All are bhaktas only. What have they achieved? Did they have Advaita Darshanam? Did they understand everything is one? No. So still there are differences, disputes. What bhakti is that? Na dveshti, na shochati, na kankshati. Where is all that quality? Bhakti, 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 bhakti. What bhakti is that? That is why I am pushing everybody to realize, because when you realize that Atma, your bhakti will only become pure. It will become mature. It will become true. It will not be this pseudo bhakti. You will really understand what bhakti means. Only when you have realization of oneness with your Bhagavan, that is when you will truly know what bhakti means and what Bhagavan is. Till then it's only imagination. Therefore this imagination is not leading us anywhere. Andhe naiva niyamana yathandaha. Blind leading the blind. Of course it has helped. How it has helped? It has helped Chittasya Shuddhaya. It has helped us become purer, less selfish. Has helped us reduce our desires, unwanted desires. Has helped us become better people in the society, conduct ourselves more morally, more spiritually, socially we are more helpful to people. Yes, it has given so many benefits. But still it is at the 148th floor. So could we have gone till 148th floor without bhakti? No. Bhakti has helped us go this far. But can it help us further? No. Beyond that, jnana alone can help us. Beyond that, bhakti cannot help us. So that understanding of the divinity, that it is one with everything, including you, me and everybody. And when did Swami not say, I am God, so are you. I know, you don't. When was it not Aham Brahma, Tvam Brahma, Sarvam Brahma? When was it not? Every time it was. I know, you don't know. That's all was the difference. But how many people took this statement so seriously and started working on it? No, I must also know that I am God. Somebody asks question, who are you? The answer comes, I am the state president, state vice president, I am the convener, I am the center in charge, I am this and that. Who are you? I am divine, one with my master. How many could say that? That bhakti, not gariyasi. That is not the greatest. So that's why I said, let us go by the definition of our Shankaracharya, who was also great bhakta. Half of these stotrams that we chant here are all Shankaracharya's kritis. While he wrote the highest treatise on Advaita, he also wrote so many suktas and so many of these, even this Dakshinamurti stotram, everything is by Shankaracharya. Kanakadhara stotram. So many of them. So how did he reconcile with bhakti and Advaita together? Because he didn't see these two as different. He saw one complementing the other. More bhakti, more Advaita darshan. More Advaita darshan, more bhakti. It was helping each other. It was not different like two legs. Both helped him walk. So, bhakti, moksha, karana, samagraya, all the items that are required to attain moksha, bhakti reva gariyas, it's all there in bhakti. But what is bhakti? Let us understand that. Sa swarupa sandhanam. To realize, to know oneself. Bhakti riva iti abhidhiyate. I believe, I understand, I opine that that is what is bhakti. What? Sa swarupa sandhanam. You realize your own true self. That is true bhakti. So then Shvetashvatara Upanishad ends, closes. It says, have devotion to the divine. And the devotion that you have for the divine, the same devotion you show to your guru also. It says, Yatha deve tatha guru. Same bhakti. Or what kind of bhakti? Para bhakti. Yasya deve para bhakti. Highest devotion you show. Means it doesn't have any desires, wants, positions, authorities, powers. Nothing is there in that. It's pure, unblemished. There's nothing in that. That bhakti you show to the divine. Same bhakti you show to your guru who is taking you towards the divine. Why? Because he has attained this how? Tapaprabhavat, Daiva prasadat. By tapas and by God's grace, Shvetashvatara Muni has attained Brahman. And so he is teaching whom? Ati ashramin. Not ordinary people. Ati ashramin. And who are Ati ashramins? Whose only goal in life is to realize Brahman. They are the residents of Ati ashramin. Ati ashrama. So if you say Sathya Sai Grama ashrama, Sathya Sai Grama, Ati ashrama you should call it now. Only realization of self is the goal of the ashram in which other things are secondary and not even important. Main goal is to realize. The Ati ashram, he said. Paramam pavitram is most sacred knowledge. This Muni is teaching to whom? Provacha, he teaching to whom? Rishi Sangha Jushtam. To the group of rishis who are so eager to learn this knowledge. Because they're Ati ashram means they don't have any other agenda in life. They have nothing more to think of. Their bhakti has culminated into this kind of vyakulate, to realize their true self, their oneness with their divine master. And Nama Rupa have fallen away on the way. Priyam Bhati Asti, they are slowly rising to the highest floor. This is why Advaita Vedanta is not different, not contradictory, not conflicting, but it is complementing the very fact that bhakti is that. Otherwise, bhakti by itself should be able to lead you there. But unfortunately, we have not understood what true bhakti is. So I am redefining it. Saswarupa Sandhanam is only bhakti. There is no other bhakti for me. Not even going to Sarnam, whatever, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparnam, gone past all. That is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. No, they are not more important. Now, Saswarupa Sandhanam. You should realize who you are. That is bhakti. And because only when you do that, then Narada's definition of bhakti is fulfilled. Atma Ramo Bhavati. He realizes that he is the Atma Rama. So Narada also will be happy that his definition has finally found fulfillment. Why? Because we have done Saswarupa Sandhanam. We have found out who we are. And so next time ask you who you are, I am divine. Means in your heart that conviction should be there. Of course, for all practical purposes, you will have to explain as it is. But deep down, that the conviction is there inside. That yes, this is all the outside drama I have to perform. But because you have no hatred for anybody, no desires, nothing, there is nothing more left inside you. You don't exist actually. He alone exists. Or that alone exists, whichever way you call it. You don't exist. There is a question of all these other thoughts coming and going. Sam Shanta Sarva Sankalpa. Completely peaceful, no desires, no thought of their own. As and when people are coming, you're interacting and finishing your work and going back to the same Saswarupa Sthiti, Saswarupa Sandhana. That is true bhakti. So even if you're a bhakta, your target is far, far ahead of you. You're not yet reached there. By number of years associated and by number of times you have visited, by number of hours spent in doing bhajana and kirtana and seva, by being head of this and that and having positions and authorities, none of these qualify you to be a bhakta. Because this may be bhakta, but para-bhakti it is not. And only para-bhakti can lead parama prema rupaya, amrita swarupaya. Parama prema rupa it is, amrita swarupa. Only then you get all this. Siddho bhavati, tripto bhavati, atmaramo bhavati, and all that bhavatis which should come with that bhakti. Otherwise it's not bhakti. And when you are not reaching that kind of a feeling, I'm still having desires, I'm still having anger, I'm still having these wants, I am still not restful, I'm restless. I still get engaged and I'm interested in these worldly things. I still get excited by new things. Then you know that you are not having that. Then what should happen? Oh, I'm forgetting who I am. Tad vismarane, parama vyakulte. You should become restless. That tivrata of your intensity of your search, intensity of your desire or whatever want or wish to realize yourself should become even stronger. Parama vyakulate should come. See what beautiful. Vyakulate, it is a parama vyakulate. Prema rupa, parama prema rupa. Bhakti, para bhakti, he said. So unless we develop that kind of bhakti, that also will redeem us, that's also fine. But let us not fool ourselves. There is a story of this king who was never going to the temple, never mentioning the name of Rama. His wife was always going to the temple, morning 7 o'clock. She is in the temple. What happens to the breakfast of the king, that we will see later. First my God should eat. First I should finish my puja. So all thought queen is a great devotee. And this queen will go and cry to the God, my husband is not at all your devotee. Doesn't chant your name, doesn't think of you. What a sad thing it is. Please bless him with some bhakti. And one night in the dream, suddenly, Rama, Rama, he said. And she got up and heard Rama, Rama. Oh, my husband is chanting Rama's name. So next morning she woke up. She woke her husband up and said, I'm so happy today. What happened? You were chanting the name of Rama in the dream. Oh, what a mistake I made. I never wanted anybody to know that I am a devotee. It will unnecessarily bring ego. I just wanted to be quietly worshipping my Lord. But now you found out my secret. So he lamented. So that is another bhakti. And there are others. Every possible sign of being recognized as bhakta, they'll put on themselves, from scarf to badges to a big vibhuti, to the spotless whites. You can make out from distance, oh, this is he's coming, he'll announce his presence here now. Push everybody, go and sit in the front. I've seen all this, it's not new. How long? How long is the question? Enough, that is over. This university, he said it right. You are rising now, rise with these times. He's going to the university. Shirdi Baba Bhaktas could not recognize Sathya Sai Baba and they fought. So Sathya Sai Baba's Bhaktas, they will not recognize, they will also get into confusion, let them. Because only that person, as he said, Sarva Samshaya, Chindyanti, all doubts will be dispelled. For whom? Tasmin Drishte Paravare, he sees that Paravare, beyond, the one that is beyond the one who sees, that person alone will know all are same. In fact, you, me, this table, chair, everything is same, they will know. We are all floating in a sea of consciousness. We are consciousness. We are that Brahman. And that realization will destroy all doubts. That is what is required. All doubts will be dispelled. Chidyante sarva samshaya. All doubts. Why this is like that? Why this change in the teaching now? What is this new thing happening? Has Swami left this and some other ghost has appeared over here? What is going on over here? Same thing it is. Why? Because their tasmin drishte paravare is not happened. They have not seen what that is beyond. So such bhakti is dangerous. Jamvan fought with Krishna. Vehemently, really wanted to kill Krishna. That's a different story that he could not kill. Suppose he was even powerful. He would have hurt Krishna, but definitely in that fight with his claws and all, would he not have hurted Krishna? Some hurt would have come to Krishna, some injury. You fight for so many days, 18 days, and you don't get an injury. That too with a ferocious wild bear who is expert in fighting. And that too is fighting to save his only daughter. So imagine how ferociously Jamavanta would have fought with Krishna to defeat him. And in the process, how many wounds, how many injuries he would have inflicted upon Krishna's tender body. What use is that bhakti is my question, which couldn't recognize its Bhagavan. Because it was stuck in the name and form, Nama Rupa. What use is that bhakti? So that bhakti will not lead us anywhere. It has led us this far, that's fine. Further, it has to turn into jnana or parabhakti. Parabhakti is nothing but another name for jnana bhakti. Jnana only, Advaita Bhakti as you are saying. The same thing it is. From Dvaita Bhakti, Advaita Bhakti. Have you not heard about Nirguna Upasana? Saguna Upasana, Nirguna Bhakti, 12th chapter, we heard about it. People who worship the form versus who don't worship the form. What is the difference? He said, both will reach me, but the people who worship the form is easier for them. Provided that finally they give up that form and name. Finally also they keep holding on to that and don't believe in anything else. Then they'll get into these confusions. Religious wars. So, the idea of that realization alone can redeem us from our petty thinking and narrow understanding of what is devotion, what is a devotee and who is God. All this will become clear. Vidyate hridaya gantish. All the doubts and all the knots in our hearts will be destroyed. Why? Because we have understood tasmin drishte paravara. We have seen the oneness of everything and therefore we have no problem with anything. We know the Brahman alone exists and we can see Brahman shines forth from within. The purer the mind, the higher the shine. You can see that in that person. You see, everything is one. That is the only solution to the problems of this world. Not only religious conflicts, but all conflicts will come to an end. That is what I was teaching. Isa vasyam idam sarvam yat kinchat jagatyam jagata tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gudhakasya svidhanam. Don't steal from anybody. Live with a sense of sacrifice because everything is divine. All that you see, them sarvam, everything is divine. So where is the question of conflicts, fights, stealing, harming, hurting, cheating? No place for it. The one who thinks everything is divine. So that is why we have to intensify our efforts. More and more and more. That we have gone this far, I am not able to realize that means we have to put some more effort. And it says very nicely, Shvetashvatra Upanishad says, tapaprabhavat daiva prasadat. Brahmaha. Who found out Brahma? Shvetashvatara, Vidwan. He came to know about Brahman. How? Tapaprabhavat. Same thing, Bhrigu. Tapaso Brahma vijijñāsasva. Go do tapas. Tapana. Tapas means tapana. The burning desire. I must realize Paramavyakulate. I haven't realized even today. I have not understood this Paramatattva. What a loss of a day. I have sang, and like Rabindranath Tagore told, the song that I came to sing remains unsung to this day. I have spent all my day in stringing and unstringing the instrument. That should not become our fate at the end of it. Bhakti, 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 all right. At the end of it, that doesn't turn into para bhakti, doesn't take you to the Atma Rama Anubhava. It has not really helped you. Helped you to some extent, of course, but not really. You didn't realize its true potential. So that's where the issue is. So please pay more and more and more attention. Tapas, brahmacharya, shraddha. Tapas, burning desire. Must attain that. How can I miss that? How many years I have spent? Still I have not understood the truth. What is the use? That tapas, brahmacharya, all the time mind is in Brahman. All the time thinking of that. Shraddha, and the faith that if I keep putting effort, by tapas prabhavat and daiva prasada, it will come to me at some point in time. With continuous effort. And become ati ashrami. Become ati ashrami, whose only agenda of the life is to know yourself. Knowing which everything is known. That is the only solution, because it is the only solution, so there is no other way we can do it. There is no other way. If you tell me don't do it this way, do it another way, I say there is no other way. There is only one way. So we have to move on this way. Okay, all those who like this way, please follow. That's all I can say. The rest is up to you. Sit on the 148th floor and watch. That's all will happen to others. So that's why I say there are many more heights to be, achieved. We have to still rise. We have not risen. Till we become one with that divine, we have not truly become devotees. So now go by whichever definition, Narada's bhakti definition or Shankaracharya's bhakti definition. Both are indicating ultimately to the same state of oneness, Advaita. They are not telling things as different from each other. So try to understand that and don't develop this ignorant conflict or this idea that what is this Swami's teaching. It is not at all in line with that. The same thing, I am God, so are you. I know, you don't. Everything is God. Love all, serve all. The other day I was saying, Swami, from love all, serve all looks like it's moving to Aham Brahma, Sarvam Brahma. I said, I understood love all, serve all is not happening. Therefore, the only way, love all, not love a few, serve all, not serve conveniently a few. All will happen only when you realize all is Brahman. So there are two ways. Either do love all, serve all and reach Aham Brahma, Sarvam Brahma. If that is not happening, reach Aham Brahma, Sarvam Brahma and go back to love all, serve all. Because naturally you will be loving all, serving all. That is the nature of that jnani. Shanto, Mahanto, Nivasanti Santo, Vasantavat Lokahita Charantaha. Swayam Tirna Bhima Bharna Bhima Bhava Arnavam Janana Hetu Naanya Pitarayantaha. Having himself crossed, he helps others cross the ocean of samsara. Like the Vasanta Ritu which comes and brightens up the whole place. That is the idea of a Santa, the realized one. So even then it is the same thing. Love all, serve all will become your very nature. What do? I do love all, serve all. It's natural for me. Why? Because I am Brahman and everything is Brahman. So how many of us truly realize love all, serve all? Let us ask this question to ourselves. Nicely quoted, nicely printed everywhere. But how many of us really have followed love all, serve all? Have we not hated one person also? Swami's message is love all. Have we not even hated one person? If we have hated, then we have not followed Swami's message to the T. So it means our bhakti is not strong enough. If our bhakti was so strong, then we should have followed love all. So bhakti has not helped us with that. Let jnana help us now. That we are all one, therefore love all. There is no question of hating anybody. No, you have to do what you have to do as a part of your duty. Teachers will have to be stern, tough with the children. That is a part of their duty. But inside, there is no hatred. Because no deshti, no dveshti. So how can I hate if I am a devotee? So these are all same things, Like 4 blind men trying to understand the elephant. Let us not fool ourselves. Open our eyes and see things as they are supposed to be. That is very important. Otherwise, it will lead to another line of confusion from here onwards.